I received a lot of messages sometimes from different people who follow my podcast, and sometimes a few of them, and sometimes I get emails too. People ask me about what I think about Skinny Bob, and for people who don't know who Skinny Bob is, I'm sure a lot of you already know. It's this alien, and actually there's more than just one alien in this series of videos that were released by someone on YouTube back in 2011, and the person goes by the name of Ivan0135, and it's a video that shows basically an alien in some portions of in one of the videos. You see an alien basically looks like he's getting they're measuring how tall he is and everything, and it looks pretty realistic, right? And people ask me, what do I think about? Do I think it's real? Well, I don't know. Most of me says no, right? Most of me says no, that this thing was faked. I would say in the mid 90%, 95, 96% of me says this is most likely CGI. A small part of me says maybe it's not. Maybe it's real and I'm being fooled. But there are reasons why I think it was faked. And to me, like one of the telling things about this was that when I do my podcast, I use a certain video editing program called Cyberlink, right? And I use Cyberlink Power Director, and I use that for both preparing the videos and the audio for the podcast and the videos for YouTube. And in that you could do all kinds of special effects, right? And one of the special effects you could use is these overlays that makes the video look like old film with lines, cracks, damage, and sometimes in some videos I did that in the past, and so like what people say about the Skinny Bob video is that there was an overlay that was used on this that's actually one of those same overlays. It matches an overlay that's available in a different kind of program similar to Cyberlink. So that's why I think it's most likely fake. Right. But anyway, and here was a comment on a website called Metabunk.org, and it was about the Skinny Bob videos. They were talking about it here. And there was somebody who made a comment about it named Alpha Dunk back in May 2021. Somebody was asking what they thought, if they thought this was real, if they think the Skinny Bob videos were real. And this person stated, "We haven't discovered the source of the underlying video, although the film grain / scratch overlay has been identified, as well as the font used for the text overlay. Both of those things are modern creations and obviously added digitally. The video is interesting, though. It's quite complex and many set pieces and models. I think it's unlikely a single person created it digitally in 2010. But that remains a possibility. Some combination of live action with CGI and puppets may be more likely. What I find interesting is that the creator went through all that work to make the underlying video, but then slapped a stock overlay on it. Film grain overlays are easy to make. It's hard to believe someone would have the skills to make the video, but not the overlay. Regardless, we'll probably never find the true source of the video unless Ivan reappears. There's a fairly active subreddit for Skinny Bob related discussion. Most people are pretty skeptical, and the discussions are pretty sane most of the time." Now, Metabunk is basically a debunker type place, but I was in researching this for this podcast. I went there and I was reading some of these comments. But I do think, and just for people, I will leave links to this guy's YouTube, to these videos. You could check them out for yourself if you're looking at this, if you're listening to this in the podcast and not on YouTube. So I just want to make it clear of that. Or you could check out this video, because I will be having the video playing in the video version of this podcast. And I'll leave the link for that also. But anyway, here was an article that appeared earlier this year, actually, in the Daily Star out of the UK with regard to Skinny Bob, and I'll read through some of this. It says, "The mysterious case of Skinny Bob, the alien UFO pilot captured by the KGB." And here's what the article says. "Of all the videos that are claimed to be evidence of alien creatures visiting the Earth, none is as hard to explain or as downright crawly as the brief clip of an extraterrestrial known as Skinny Bob. A clip of the creature with the bulging skull and huge black eyes that have become standard for images of alien visitors first emerged in 2011. Posted by an anonymous Reddit user who went by the name of Ivan0135, the video was supposedly recorded by the KGB after a ship from the Zeta Reticuli star system landed in Russia. Skinny Bob was said to be part of a diplomatic mission from a planet some 40 light years away, sent to discuss matters of mutual concern. It's hard to believe that an alien from such a distant planet would look quite so human, but if Skinny Bob is a hoax, the question remains, who are the hoaxers and what did they stand to gain? I was going to stop there for a minute, and I wonder the same thing. I mean, what did they stand to gain, really? I mean, I do think, for most, like I said, most of me believes that this is a hoax. I would say, like I said, 95% of, I think there's a 95 to 96% chance it's a hoax. And basically, I base that belief on the, for the fact that, the overlay, that fake overlay to make the age the film, to make it look really old. I mean, if you could, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they use a fake overlay for that? But it does at the same time. Let me just say this before I continue with this article. It is very compelling. This video of this alien, I mean, it looks real. I mean, it's very well done. I mean, it looks very realistic. But it's again, we don't know who this Ivan is. He never made himself known. We don't know the full story behind this. A lot of it's all just speculation if it is real. And there's just so many unknowns with it. But again, it looks good. It looks like, when you first see this, it was like it blows you away because this looks pretty real. But again, unfortunately, I just personally think that it's most likely fake. And that doesn't mean that everybody else should think the same way. If you think it's real, then everyone has their own opinion. I'm just giving you mine. But anyway, let's continue with this article. It says, video effects artist Randy Sharp said that if the clip was fake CGI technology at the time of production, it would have required a level of expertise of someone with a high level of experience and knowledge. No one has ever tried to make any money from the footage, which some experts estimate would have cost in the region of $250,000 to create. And that's a lot of money. I mean, you're gonna. I mean, and you could see. I mean, this thing. Whoever made this had to take. I mean, even if you don't believe the $250,000 that it would have cost to make it, something like this, CGI wise. I mean, you look at this video. This had to take a lot of time. And it had to take a lot of time. Anyway, I'll continue with the article here. It says, movie maker Adam Wells, who directed the short film Shamira, told the Daily Star that he's seen plenty of crude hoaxes in his time, but the Skinny Bob clip had time spent on it. He added that there was something about the eyebrow move that looked animatronic. UFO expert Nigel Watson told us that Skinny Bob looks like the sort of alien we might expect to march out of a flying saucer, or the type allegedly recovered at Roswell, or the Mekon from 50s cartoon strip Dan Dare. Well, I don't know what he's talking about there. But anyway, continuing, he says, there's also an uncanny resemblance to the drawing an alien abduction victim sent him after a close encounter in the 1970s. But, he added, for all the alien credentials, Bob looks very humanoid and not as exotic as you might expect for a visitor from a distant star system. Well, let me just stop there for a second. I think he does look pretty exotic. His eyes are really gigantic and his head's really gigantic. He doesn't look human at all. I mean, but... it does look, like I said, it looks very, very compelling, and it doesn't look human. And I just want to stop there with regard to the eyes. If you listen to, I've listened to a lot of different Travis Walton interviews, that he did over the years. And he talked about when he saw beings, like, of course, the story of Travis Walton in 1975, he was abducted, he was missing for 5 days, and then he was returned. Nobody knew where he was for 5 days. He was out working all day in Arizona. And anyway, when he woke, like he on the way home, him and his other work buddies, they saw a flying saucer. Like, they're in the mountains in Arizona. They saw a flying saucer off the side of the road, just hovering there. So he got out of the truck to get a closer look, and he gets zapped and gets thrown backward. Next thing you know, when he wakes up, he sees these alien beings, right? And he said when he saw these things, he said he couldn't believe what he was seeing. It's to see them in the way these giant eyes blinked. And when you watch the Skinny Bob video, it's like, okay, that's what he was talking about. That's what Travis is talking about this. And so that's the one small part of me. Maybe it is real. right? Because some of the movement does look realistic, and it might not be CGI. But again, most of me says CGI, but there's a small part of me that says, well, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue here. It says, Charlie Henley, a VFX supervisor who worked on Ridley Scott's Alien series, says there are very good reasons why the aliens of our imaginations look so human. A lot of the designs are tied in with the human anatomy, and I think that is the common theme. We put a lot of humans into the aliens. Paleontologist and evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould says a human-looking alien would be extremely unlikely, and if we reran the tape of evolution here on Earth, life could end up looking different on how it looks now. Now, how does he know that? Let me just stop there for a second. How does he know that? I mean, the way we are, the way we're shaped, this could be standard for all intelligent life throughout the universe. In fact, somebody does say that in this article later on. And I'll continue here. It says, yeah, but Sam Levin, a researcher in Oxford's Department of Zoology, says an alien that looked a bit like us isn't as unlikely as all that. We still can't say whether aliens will walk on two legs or have big green eyes. But we believe evolutionary theory offers a unique additional tool for trying to understand what aliens will be like, and we have shown some examples of the kinds of strong predictions we can make with it. By predicting that aliens undergone major transitions, which is how complexity has arisen species on Earth, we can say that there is a level of predictability to evolution that would cause them to look like us. So yeah, I mean that's plausible, right? You know, why not? But I will leave an article link for this article too if you want to check it out. So yeah, I mean it could be that this is like the way we are designed, human beings, the way we are upright, right? That could be the standard design for intelligent life throughout the universe, right? We just that it all looks a lot different and develops a lot differently. I don't know. But I mean, I guess the bottom line is, though, I still believe it's a hoax. I still think that Skinny Bob and the series of videos, which shows a lot of different weird stuff. I mean, it's not just one alien. There's a bunch of aliens. It looks like one alien. I mean, I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. It's supposed to be film that was taken from like over 20 hours worth of different videotapes. It was stuff that was filmed and then put on videotapes. And this person who uploaded this allegedly, it was actually little clips from over 20 hours worth of videotapes that had all these recordings of this old film footage from apparently from the 60s. I just don't know. I mean, again, it looks compelling, a lot of it. I mean, there's different scenes where the aliens walking around, but there's several aliens walking around. There's another scene where it looks like they're actually filming a flying saucer from a helicopter or a plane or something. I mean, and then there's all these weird. There's a crash, and there looks like there's a body laying there. I mean, I don't know. Then it looks like they're doing an autopsy on an alien. I mean, so I'm not sure. You know, it could have been just a hoaxer putting these things together and working to do this just as a joke. And you have to wonder, why would somebody want to hoax this? That's the big question I have. I just don't get that. I mean, somebody who has knowledge and doing this, something like this. But here's the thing, as I know that people do hoaxes sometimes. I mean, for instance, I was thinking today, when I was thinking about this, I remember back in 2008 in Georgia, there was two guys that claimed that they had actually found a dead Bigfoot. And they had him. They're going to reveal him to the world. And this went on for a week or two. It went on for a while, and then it turned out to be a big giant hoax. And they when they opened up the icebox, it was basically all it was an ape costume stuffed with guts from dead animals, basically. And that's what it was, and it was a big giant hoax. And the one guy was a cop. The one guy was a car salesman, but the other one was a police officer. He ended up getting fired. I mean, how could you? This became an international story. This was on CNN. This was a big thing at the time. Actually, there's an article here about this hoaxer that I was reading through just earlier. And I'll just read a little bit of it. It says, Bigfoot hoaxers say it was just a big joke. And this was in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is from 2008. It says, the two men who claim to have found the carcass of Bigfoot have surfaced to say, hey, it's just a joke. Matt Whitten has been fired from his job as a police officer because of his role in the hoax. Not everyone is laughing. In an exclusive interview with CNN affiliate WSB, the two hoaxers, the car salesman Rick Dyer and now fired police officer Matt Whitten, said the whole situation began as a joke and then got out of hand. It's just a big joke, a big hoax, a big joke, Dyer said. It's Bigfoot, Dyer explained. Bigfoot doesn't exist. Whitten chimed in. All this was a big joke. It got into something way bigger than it was supposed to be. At a news conference in California last week, the two men had stood by their claims that they had discovered a Bigfoot's corpse and had it on ice. Scientific analysis would prove it, they said. Not quite. Now the two Georgia men admit that the hairy, icy blob was an internet-purchased Sasquatch costume stuffed with possum roadkill and slaughterhouse leftovers. Whitten and Dwyer say when they came up with the hoax, they had no idea it would become a media circus. It got legs and it ran. It's crazy now, Dyer told WSB. Co-hoaxer Whitten agrees. It started off as some YouTube videos and a website. We're all about having fun. Well, I'm not going to read the rest of the article, but I will leave the link for this one too. But I guess you see, I mean, these people made this big giant hoax. The whole world had its eyes on Georgia there for a little while because everyone thought that these guys really caught a Bigfoot. I mean, why the hell would somebody do something like this? A police officer and a car salesman decide, okay, yeah, we're gonna tell the whole world that we got a Bigfoot, and then we're just like, why would somebody do that? But some people do these things. It turned out to be a big joke, and there's other hoaxes too, where people pull hoaxes for like a money scam. There's all kinds of hoaxes, and this could be a hoax too. It could the person who pulled if Skinny Bob, if those Skinny Bob videos were hoaxed, right? Which again, most of me says yes. Then that means this person, whoever did it, just had a lot of time on their hands, right? A lot of time and a lot of money, right, to be able to do something like this, and they just wanted to do it to sit back and see how the world reacts. I mean it could have been, that's the only reason. It could have been the person whoever it is never monetized it, right? Now there's some people online who claim, well, yeah, his YouTube channel got monetized after all these years that it's been on there. No, it actually YouTube will show some commercials during his videos, right? But it's not monetized. I mean, they have the ability to do that and they're making the money, not him, not whoever that Ivan is, right? He's not making anything. It never was monetized, and that was all it ever was just these 4 videos on this YouTube channel, and then he disappeared. And ever since, it's just been people have been debating on whether it's real or fake. I fall into the fake category on this one. I think it was a very, very well conceived very well conceived and structured hoax. Whoever this pulled it off. I mean, because it really is very compelling. But I guess that that overlay to make the film look old. That's what apparently that's what makes it show basically. I mean, why would you do that? If you had real footage, why would you use a fake overlay to age it? I mean, if you had the real footage, why not just show the real footage? Why would you put something over it that's going to tell the world that it's a fake? And again, like somebody else pointed out, it doesn't make sense. Like, this person, whoever did it, had this, if they had the ability, which doesn't make this part doesn't make sense to me. If this person had the ability to make that, that video, right? The CGI, masterpiece, basically. This little short. I mean, it's it is a masterpiece as a hoax. I think that it's a great hoax to have the ability to do that, but to use an overlay that somebody else is going to be able to recognize. That was where the person tripped up. Usually, a hoax somewhere along the line, the person's going to trip up, just like with those Bigfoot goofballs, right? Saying that they had a Bigfoot on ice, and then you open up the thing and it's a Bigfoot costume stuffed with animal guts. They're in the end, there's something that's going to give it away at some point. I always believe. I mean, now some people, there's other things out there. There's other evidence of alien beings that I do not believe is a hoax. For instance, the Turkey UFO videos that show alien beings from 2007, 2008, and 2009. I believe that is not a hoax. I believe that they are absolutely real. And one of the reasons I believe they're absolutely real because there were multiple UFO investigators that actually on one of the occasions in 2009 joined. There was a fisherman who was filming this object over the Black Sea. And with a really good camera, and when you zoomed in on it, you could actually see beings on a ship during moments when this hatch was open on the craft. Of course, I've talked about this numerous times before. But there was a bunch of there was a UFO conference there, and several, quite a few, like 7 or 8 or 9 different UFO investigators, including the late Dr. Roger Lear, went there and actually saw the object with their own eyes. I do not believe that was a hoax. Nobody's ever been able to. No one has debunked it, right? And that series of videos stands to me. I believe that's real. And plus, we also have corroboration behind it. We know we know the person who filmed it was this Turkish fisherman, right? We know that there was other people that witnessed it with their own eyes, like those other UFO investigators. So we have stuff behind it, and that's why, to me, that makes that very credible, and that's why I believe that is real. I believe that is real. However, the other one though, the Skinny Bob stuff, we don't know anything. We don't know where it came from. When nothing. We got nothing. We got nothing. And to me, I think it's a hoax. I just believe it is. And the reason was, I don't know, but I guess the best guess would be that the person just did it for kicks and wanted to see how the world would react. Well, the world's still debating about it, and this guy, whoever this is, if he's still around, he's still chuckling about it.